The biggest misconception that I think people have when going through a divorce and they're looking to sell their home and make a life shift is that this does not all happen in a bubble, right? So you are living and making moves and still going to work and still trying to navigate through life while you're going through this large life shift, and your life doesn't stop and a bubble doesn't surround you just because the shift is happening. I'm Danielle Waldera, a realtor here in Harford County, Maryland, and today we are going to talk about how to break through your bubble when you're going through a divorce and selling your house.
I'm Corey Glowacki, local lender with Direct Mortgage Loans, and I am here to chat with you all and Danielle and help however I can. So when a couple is going through a divorce, what usually happens with the house? Do you think it's normally clear what to do, or is it more complicated in that aspect of what people would expect?
By the time it gets to me, it is usually clear. Everyone has made their decisions, everyone's gone through their potential litigation, and the cards are out on the table for what they would like to be done with the house. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to only contact me once you're crystal clear and sure of everything. You are welcome to call me and contact me day one when you're still in the weeds and you're still processing and you just need to know, what is the house worth? If I do want to stay, which is totally fine with me, I'm not here to force you to move. That's not the only thing you can use me for. I can help provide you just with that information and knowledge to make the most educated decision that you can, because this is a big decision. Are you going to stay? Are you going to go? Are you going to be owed equity? What numbers are you working with? And if you don't know your numbers, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, it starts with a conversation, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, Corey, what are the biggest challenges you see clients face during this process, and what mistakes do people make when their emotions are really high?
Yeah. So I think it's challenging for people to put themselves in like a real life budget when they're coming from a dual income household and they're going to be eventually going into a single income household. That's challenging. And I think budgets sometimes need to be worked through and actually felt. So I think it's challenging for a lot of people to think of, when it's just me, what can I afford? What does that look like? And am I going to feel house poor once it's just me doing this on my own? I think that's where conversations with you and I is helpful, because we can really dive into the numbers and help people figure out what that's going to look like and figure out if it's going to be comfortable for them or not. Timing in situations like this, do people usually rush, or do they wait, or like, what do you suggest?
They feel like they have to rush.
Yeah.
They feel like impending doom, right? And that's totally normal, because this is a huge life shift, and it's normal to feel like everything has to be decided day one. You just decided yesterday that, in discussions you were getting a divorce. Day two, we need to know where I'm living, where you're living, what's happening with the house, what's happening with all these things. And it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
You can and you should take a step back, process everything, talk to your people, talk to your family members, talk to your support system, talk to your attorney, and figure out what is the best path. And you don't have to feel like this has to be a rush decision.
Yep. Absolutely.
So how do you help clients navigate the emotional and the financial side?
Yeah. So both of those things I think are like equally important, right? Understanding emotional and financial next steps. Getting an understanding of what things are going to look like on the other side, I can be a resource in that way. So, as we stated before, sort of not really knowing what living in that budget is going to feel like, I can help people sort of outline that. And then there are things that come up like, will there be alimony? Will there be child support? Is there going to be a buyout when you're, selling or refinancing this house? So just really diving into what those numbers look like and helping people understand them is where I come into play. Do you have any client stories you would like to share? Like anybody that you've helped in a difficult situation or unique situation going through a divorce or a separation?
I mean, most of my clients are going through the same thing, right? So they're all getting a divorce. They're all stressed, in a difficult life situation. But we were actually just talking about this before we started filming, that I want people to know that no matter where you are in this process, whether you are pre-divorce, during divorce, post-divorce, this can look different and I can help you throughout any of those stages. And we were just chatting that one of our mutual clients, who's going to settlement, was doing a home inspection recently. And that client asked me, is it okay if my ex comes over during the home inspection? He just has some questions, I'm warning you, he's a lot of nervous energy, right? Like, this might not be the vibe, but like, he wants to come check it out. And my answer is always going to be, if it's cool with you, it's cool with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, first, thank you for asking and thank you for letting me know. But if that's what you need to get through and know that this other person is not going to cause you a bunch of like riffraff and difficulty getting through the situation because they have now seen it, so they can also feel the peace that you're feeling in this decision, then like, I'm down. Let's do whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's important to me. So if someone is going through this right now, what should they do first? What's numero uno on the list?
Just have a conversation, I think, right? Speak to an agent, speak to a lender, start the conversation. Like you said earlier, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. And I think sort of shedding the fear and anxiety of how scary it may be. I don't think we're scary people. So just pick up the phone, call us, and let us help and answer your questions and be a resource for you.
For sure. And I think a lot of people ask, what should my priority be? And your priorities are going to look different for everyone. But I do try to like really ask my clients who are going through a divorce specifically to stop and think about what they want their life to look like after this, because life will look different, right? There's no way around that. Life is going to look different, and that's okay. But what are your priorities now? Are your priorities now that you need to live within a certain radius of your family because you need that support that maybe you didn't need as much when you had another spouse at home to help with coverage and things like that? Is the priority not overextending yourself and making sure that now you're on one income instead of two incomes? Just because you could be approved for $450,000 doesn't mean that's where you're comfortable.
Absolutely.
So your priorities between the two of us can really be vetted out and make you feel comfortable that you're making the best decision for you and your family going into your next chapter, because it is going to look different.
Yeah.
But you should feel like this is going to be a fun and a different and an exciting chapter, not like, everything's going to go downhill.
New beginning.
It's not. It's new beginning. Yeah. It's not. Like, this is your time to shine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Post-divorce glow up. You know?